Hello the channel, welcome back everyone. Hope you're all looking forward to a huge weekend. It's been a bit of a quiet midweek to say the least. Absolute load of shite. There we go. Apologies for the language, but it has been a load of shite. So there we go. But we've got a bigger weekend coming up. We've got the J-League special returning. Still got a good few of the European leagues running too. Lots of stuff happening. Teams being released for or agreed for the provisional squads for the Euros, etc. as well. But first and foremost, we're going to get into the main stuff, which is the J-League. It's the main attraction this weekend. It's nice to have some focus on something a bit different, although I'm sitting here in my Celtic top, so there we go. So I've narrowed this down firstly to the J-League special so we can have a specific look at that, and then I'll show you what I've done myself as well. So best fixtures, Vissel Kobe, the best clean sheet percentage and expected team goals. So XTG is expected team goals and CS is clean sheet, just in case anybody's new to the videos. Nearly 50% is pretty good, so nice home game for Vissel. 1.59 is not that big in terms of expected team goals, so you never get many overwhelming fixtures in Japan. We'll look at the overview of the other leagues soon and you'll see a marked difference in terms of expected team goals. Kashima Antlers, not so good in terms of the clean sheet probabilities here, but second in terms of expected team goals. Sanfrecce, or Sanfrecce as they're called. Chireko Izaka is an interesting one. Chirezo started really well, so not really found Sanfrecce to be that reliable. Kawasaki Frontale, be using my guys from them. They are really hit or miss. They either seem to do pretty well or they get hammered. So there we go. And the Goya Grampus are the second in terms of projected clean sheets, closely followed by Sanfrecce and also Aperex Nagata as well. So that could be an interesting one in terms of maybe differentials, etc. I've also had a look at the overall player database for the J-League special, so I'll let you know what I've done with buys, etc. as well, because I have actually bought a couple of players, which is unusual for me to do that just for this game week, but obviously got a bit of money sitting from previous wins, which is absolutely brilliant, and also a bit of planning forward for the summer. So we've got a couple of names here, which this is the whole J-League database. This isn't just my players, although I've got some of them now. So Alexander Kavric was a new name to me. Interesting, highest projected score out of anyone. So that he's Antlers, so that dovetails in with the expected team goals. Yuma Suzuki I know really well, used to own him, but he's more expensive. Kaishu Sano is under 23 and is the highest projected mid score, which is quite interesting. Viduka, Show Viduka. It sounds like Mark Viduka. He used to play for Celtic. Mark Viduka. I'm not going to sing any Mark Viduka songs. Some of them are a bit naughty. Ryo Hatsusi, I've got. Again, he played in the cup today and played extra time, so I think he'll be rotated back out. Actually, Gotoku Sakai, I've got. Satoshi Tanaka, another good young player. I think he's still under 23s as well. Kuryu Matsuki, we have Yuto Suzuki. I'm not good at the pronunciations, you can see. Suzuki and Mitsuta we don't have. Some other guys on there like Sho Suzaki, which you would expect. Nothing too overwhelming, but as I said, I have done some planning for this, which I will show you now, and then we'll pick some teams and then we'll look at the other regions. So we'll split it and let's have a focus on the J-League, because J-League was one of the original leagues in Sorare, and you know, I've always really enjoyed it. Bit of chaos, but who doesn't love waking up on a Saturday morning, bit of the old Guinness head and some madness ensuing. So I've bought Kavric, I bought Kaishu Sano, thought that was a nice wee dovetail there. Highest projected scores. You see, obviously, you know, that's what, like 110 quid or whatever, so it's a reasonable amount, but you know, if you look at the amounts on offer for the prize pools, etc., I think it's okay. Also bought Kim Ji-sung, which wasn't for this weekend, just general a buy to go with Bake. I bought Big Mad Daya Mayakawa. I wanted an in-season one. I paid a wee bit more than the last auctions as well, but I wanted him for this weekend and across the summer, and he's been scoring pretty well. And Vissel have been appearing quite a lot in terms of the defensive side, so I've also picked up Hatsusi and Gitoku Sakai, and I've bought them because they're both pretty good. I've bought the classic versions, but should help me put out some teams over the summer, etc. So anyways, in terms of my own players, again, I've got this all sorted out. Let's do the rare one first. Let's say if anybody's new to the channel, we'll see what sort of prize money is everything you play for in these specials. I mean, these are special tournaments, but it's $2,000 to first in this tournament. So okay, I've spent like 100 quid or whatever today, but I wanted a strong team in for this. Just decided after doing better in the K-League one, etc. I hadn't really targeted this one. It'll probably backfire, but like, we've got these guys across the whole summer. So Mayakawa is the natural selection there. Defence. Hatsusi would have been the selection, but I say based on what's happened in the Cup today, investing it been really similar to Hatsusi, I think I'm going to go with Sakai. Now, I have used another out-of-season card. In this competition, you need 3 in-season cards. So that was part of the reasoning behind picking up Kaishu Sano. So, again, highest sort of projected score of any mid there. And him and Kavric playing together, I think, is pretty interesting. And then in terms of who else we're going to pair, and we can play a classic card now, so that is a possibility. You could play Kuryu Matsuki. I think we're going to put in Yusami, just because he's been, when he has been hitting, he's been doing a really high AA, and I know Jay watches this and he's a big guy in terms of Tokyo, but Tokyo are really hit and miss as well. So I could really see Yusami doing pretty well against Tokyo, to be honest. And I'm going to captain Kavric, which is an unusual move because, as a guy I've literally just picked up, but I've sort of tailored this lineup for the special, especially for the special. Okay. We've also got some limited entries here as well. So anyway, if you don't like the J-League, I know you're not going to be enjoying this, but there we go. You don't have to watch. I'm not forcing you to watch. If you like it, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. But I'm not forcing you to watch. Watch somebody else if you don't like the J-League. There we go. That's channel promotion for you. So I'm going to do the limited, and you multi-entry these teams as well. So I don't think I'll get anything else in the rare. But again, so I've got Mayakawa coming in for a Vissel stack. Again, Sakai and Hatsusi. I think that's pretty straightforward. I think I'm going to pretty much mirror what I've done with other ones. So I have picked up Sano here, and I can fire in one older card. So I picked up an older one. I took the value and I used some level ups. So could have got a card at 5%, but I got one at 3%. Used 3 level ups. Sano is also under 23s for next season. So that was kind of interesting. Kavric again slots in here, and then we've got to use another in-season card here. I guess if we're going for the Vissel win, then, and they are at home as well, so I could see them scoring a couple here. So I think I'm going to go for Osako. Where is he? Where's he disappeared to? He's usually a bit higher up. Yuya Osako. And we'll stick to the instincts, and we'll say, I guess we could captain Sakai as well, because if it's a dominant defensive performance, he can put up the AA. But looking at Kavric as well, he does seem to put up some pretty good scores, and again, fits underneath the cap 270 and everything here, no issues with that. So pretty pleased that that looks quite good. It looks quite strong until I wake up on Saturday morning, pretty hungover, and just look at it and go, that's just chaos. Chaos, because that's what happens sometimes, but that's one of the reasons why we love the Japanese stuff. Honestly, like, it's better than just the same people winning every week, etc. That's what happens when you buy Celtic cards. Never done telling people that. So anyways, we're going to have to pick another team here as well, and then we'll probably have stragglers, but we'll go for Kama Fukumoto. That's easy for me to say. Again, Fronta, I don't know, maybe you'll get dropped at some point soon. Look out for news on that. It's one of those, in it. They've just been good, bad, and different. Like, they've had every different season of like performance already. Could try and mix in some of the guys from Vissel, but I guess we're going for some wee bit different. Saivan Merson, he keeps appearing really high up, but he's not really had a good run yet, so it's interesting. If we're going to go for the stack, then just going to go for it. I mean, Wakazika as well, again, has been not brilliant, but an estimated 56, so there we go. And we'll probably run Matsuki in like the third team. I don't even know if I've got a third goal. I have got a third goalkeeper. It's Brandon Lazaba. Iniaga as well, I think we'll run in this. So Wakazika, I think, probably going to go in. And then forward position. Are we going to... Marcinho's injured, I think. Diatono, I think, would be a shout. Gomez has been a wee bit in and out, and we don't. I don't own Erison. So Cavaric have used another one. Don't want to buy an extra one. I bought one already. So I could use Taizi Miyashiro actually. It's kind of interesting. It's just one of those though, right? Because like, if you're going to run a full stack, Gomez did hit the big peak recently with the hat trick, so going to do that. And then Iniaga's probably in the best form, so I'm just going to pick him. And then we've got one more left to select, so I'll just ad-lib this myself, I think. Never mind the spreadsheet. Anything can happen in Japan, so who cares? Brandon Nazawa, so I think that makes sense. Hatsusi, I think I'm going to leave out. Just think that's the best thing to do. Asai Sasaki puts in some good scores. Kikuchi I don't think will play. Thiller's quite reliable, so I suppose it's a higher. He never played today, so that's a plus point. I think I want to put Kuryu Matsuki in here as well. Taizi Miyashiro, and then if we're going Tokyo, I think I'll go for Araki as well. Captain Kuryu. So there we go, 3 chances, and you know, some of these cards are 10, 15 quid, etc. But even if you look at the limited version, look at it's $1,000 for first. Even top 500's $5. So all those wee amounts all certainly do add up. Anyway, we've talked a lot about the J League. Let's go back to the overall preview. So capturing your mind those stats there, 1.59, 50% clean sheet percentage, fantastic. Now look at this. Look at this green that's appeared. I like green. Anyway, that's nothing to do with just the stats. Fenerbahce, 3.78 expected team goals, 59% clean sheets. That's what you call a really good, overwhelming fixture. Fenerbahce need to win. Galatasaray, I think, need to get beat. Istanbulspor are terrible. They've also been relegated. I think Dynamo Zagreb, be careful with. They're playing against Rijeka today in the Cup, and also Rudez are relegated and Dynamo have won the league, so who knows what the lineup's going to be. Might just fire out some random lineups with them just as a sort of differential. Universitario de Deporte is in Peru. AC Milan, again, you've got to be careful with these teams. Girona did look as if it's going to be a really good fixture, and it will be, but Atletico Madrid, I think, lost, which means that Girona have actually secured third place as well. Real Madrid are pretty good at releasing their lineups, so I think they said that Courtois is going to play, so that's good information for me. I think you would imagine that Toni Kroos is going to play last home game. I mean, he'll have to feature, right? So if you've still got a straggling Kroos and you've not dumped it to Pavel or whatever, pretty interesting. Anyway, let's break it down into the regions. EPL is finished, so there's no EPL region. So AC Milan, Girona, Real Madrid, Juventus and Lazio and Napoli are all above 2 expected team goals. So that's way better than any J League team, which is quite interesting. And clean sheet percentage wise, Juventus up there as well. So it looks like Juventus is a pretty good fixture, although 47% for AC Milan, etc. there is pretty good too. There's no doubt about it. Challenger wise, we've still got some of these overwhelming fixtures. So a really good fixture also for Midtjylland, but these leagues will finish soon as well. So, you know, don't despair too much if you're an MLS guy and you prefer your LA Galaxy or your DC United or Inter Miami, as the case may be these days with Messi. But I mean, Fenerbahce have the outstanding fixture. Now, whether or not it'll turn out like that, we'll see. But you'd expect they'll be at it. They need to win and they need a result elsewhere. But, you know, at home, etc., I think they'll beat Istanbulspor quite comfortably. Ghent, also an interesting one. I don't know what the league position's like there. I think they've secured the Euro place. Brøndby don't have many licensed players, but they have a few. Club Brugge have been really good at the end of the season. And even here, Galatasaray, I think, pretty good fixture too. 1.78 team goals, 41% clean sheet percentage, but nowhere near as easy as Fenerbahce's, but they'll both be at it, and it's going to be quite interesting. Contender, pretty interesting, having no Celtic, etc. in here now, and obviously Dynamo Zagreb, they're going to drop out soon as well, so you're going to be left with a lot of the riffraff. Sorry for anyone who supports any of these teams. But yeah, if you take out Dynamo Zagreb and the like, then you'll have a more even summer. So for example, Ulsan Hyundai down there at 1.71 expected team goals, 39% clean sheet percentage, which isn't that high. But if you start taking out European teams, some point soon they'll become better fixtures to target. So we've got Universitario we talked about earlier. Rijeka are securing their position. Zenit, if you've got some classic Zenit cards, interesting because they need to win for the league. Rosenborg have not been reliable in any shape or form, etc. there as well. So all very interesting stuff. All star, all cards. So I'm going to have a look at my own players as well. So one thing I was doing, Rock asked me to do a wee 2-minute thing for a video there, and I gave him my thoughts. So I won't spoil it if it's not out yet, but looking at the fixtures analysis and everything is really quite vital, obviously. So Alvaro Fernandez, I've got a limited of. That's interesting. You see that in here, a lot of the high scoring project players are like Dynamo. So Bernard's not playing in the cup, so maybe he'll start the weekend. Justovski is playing, maybe he won't. Douglas Santos might be injured. Kaveci's injured, although it tells us here in the spreadsheet. It's very helpful. Ferdi Kadioglu, etc. So that's pretty interesting. Yunbit Goat appearing up there as per. Sebastian Szymanski is really cheap these days as well. And again, Petkovic up here. Kavric we've just picked up. Messi, no real surprise there. Too. Anyway, we always like doing this sort of Wonder Kid thing, etc. I always enjoy the under 23s. So I think what I'm going to do is just we'll have picked the J League stuff, and then we'll do an under 23s team, and then I think we'll just leave it at that. Because you'll be fed up listening to me at this stage of the season. If you're not, please like and subscribe. I said that earlier. I'll shut up now. Okay. See if we've got anything of interest in the super rare under 23, and the answer to that is a firm no. I suppose I could use McCoy in there, but it's not really anything that's really that strong, is it? I suppose Ferdi, etc. all pretty good. But we'll just pick the rare, and then I'd like to use Ferdi, Szymanski probably in Challenger, because the best Challenger fixture. So what's the lay of the land in terms of under 23 rare? So this is where it's getting quite interesting now, because it's not just your normal names all the time. Philip Jorgensen, I do really like Philip Jorgensen, but I wonder whether being the last game Villarreal actually rotate a wee bit. There's an interesting one. So I've got 2 games, so that is quite interesting. You could go for the old double dunter, as it's sometimes known, probably not in Sorare spheres. Anyway, I'll not elaborate on that. So if I knew Jorgensen was definitely going to play, then that would be an obvious choice. Interesting. I find it really tricky now. We're getting to this stage of the season, just because there's so many different permutations. Toby Lyson was dropped recently. Nico Mantle, every time I play him, does rubbish. Although he is at home, so that's pros as well. See, he's put in some really good scores. I'm going to trust him again. I'm a big fan of Nico Mantle. I know that hardly anybody else is, but there we go. Defence, I think I'm going to chance Mauro Perkovic here. I think he should play. I mean, surely there's got to be a bit of rotation, right? So I'll need, he's featured a bit the last game. Surely there's going to be a bit of rotation. You would have to think so, right? If we could go with a sort of a kind of really sneaky Dynamo Zagreb effort here. This could pay off really big though, so that's quite interesting. So go for Vidovic as well. He has got the highest projected score, so it's not exactly the daftest thing to do, if that is a word. Vinicius Junior again, wee bit in and out in terms of playing. That's the only thing that you've got. So he didn't play the last one, so probably will start this one actually. Do I really want him in here, or do I really want him in for champ? I really under 23's really fun one to go at, so I think I'm going to play him in here actually. It's a classic card anyway, and then they would just go full blown mental on Dynamo. I mean, see if we get this rotation right. That could pay off huge, like really huge. That's a weird lineup to be sending out, right? But I'll give you a bit of food for thought, hopefully, in terms of selections, because a lot of these guys could be picked up quite cheap as well, right? And that's part of the point of doing the videos, to give people an idea of value and fixtures, etc. So limited land, do I trust? Do I really trust Tangvik? I don't. Rosenborg have been terrible, so I'll probably come back to bite me, but I guess could go for the double fixture for Bake and just hope that he gets a good score in one of them. It's definitely one way to play it. Again, I've got a Perkovic here, so double down on that and go for Perkovic. I did pick up Vidovic recently as well, so go for Vidovic here too. And go for my usual obsession of Bodo Glimt. They're going to bash somebody up soon. Like, they surely are going to bash somebody up soon. So go for Hogga. And we've run out of cards to play from Dynamo Zagreb, haven't we? Or have I got a bullet? No, I don't. So go with something different and we'll go for Evgen. Again, this is a bit of a risk because Evgen and Hogga, they've been kind of in and out, etc. Both picked up wee injuries, but hopefully they get in amongst it. Or just a game where maybe Evgen starts and Hogga scores 2 for the bench and they both do well in the same game. I mean, Hogga come on recently and get an 80, so there we go. I think that's quite an interesting lineup as well. So anyways, that's 22 minutes. I'm not going to go into all the other lineups. I'm going to spend a bit of time going over them and picking myself after spending all that cash I've spent today on J-League players. I'm sure that'll backfire on me, but I don't know. I mean, I feel as if we've built quite a good lineup, which is quite interesting, and you know, they're not overwhelming stats or whatever, but yeah, no doubt we'll wake up at some point in the weekend and Consadole Sapporo will have hammered the Antlers 5-0 and I'll just look like an absolute dick. But, you know, I've got these guys for the rest of the season now that European leagues are finishing. I can use them over the season through the summer, and that's quite handy in terms of attacking the cash comps and obviously a bit of utility whilst the European leagues are off. So anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks again for watching. It's much appreciated. We'll still be coming up every week with some content, hopefully over the summer. I don't think I'll be winning as much with no Celtic, but it's all going to be quite interesting. We'll have some big games coming up for the Euros and everything as well, and we'll see what we can do. But anyways, we will now end in customary fashion. Good luck and go fuck.